Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Ward Wrestling Live. Another awesome episode. We have another young lady who is just an ass kicker in our state. She's having so much fun with the sport, loving it. From the Gib down there, Lake Gibson, wrestling for Walker and George. I hope I don't screw this up. She's a state runner-up, district champ, regional champ, grappler placer, knockout champ, state runner-up, and now Fargo All-American. So Gabby Tedesco, she's, remember her name. She's making a name for herself. Welcome, Gabby, man. I'm so happy I finally got you on here. I can't wait. We're going to have so much fun.
Thank you.
What's been going on?
Nothing really. Like right after Fargo, just went practicing, lifting, all that. I took maybe a day for my break. I thought I was going to take like a little bit longer, and then I was like, no, I miss it. I miss Walker. I'm going back in practice.
Yeah, I think that happened with all of them. I know my son, when we got back, he took a couple days. Like he cooked a big steak and potato. Like he took like a big cheat day, and then it was right back into it, working out and getting back on the chicken breast and doing all the things you wrestlers do. Man, what a trip coming back from Fargo. What a great time, right?
Yeah, it was really fun, like a great opportunity, and I know I'm gonna go next year now.
Yeah, and two things, like amazing to see that there was almost 1,000 girls on the mats. I mean, the growth of girls wrestling is incredible. How awesome was that to see?
It was like coming from like, I don't know, a lot of people think that like wrestling is like a boys sport. So to see like all those girls there wrestling, like it was like I was really happy. And then they made like shirts like grow women's wrestling, and it made me feel so good.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. And then we're hearing now that they might start girls Greco. Did you hear
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
Would you mess with that?
Yeah, I would.
That would be fun, right? If
Yeah.
people don't know, she has a twin brother. Great young man, but he's not the best wrestler in the family. You should hear her yelling at him from the side of the mat when he's not taking his shots or doing things correctly.
Yeah, I'm on him about it, like
Gets on
really
him.
bad.
So we'll talk about Team Florida a little bit and the experience and what you think about the growth of girls wrestling, and obviously being last year you went through the first sanctioning of it, which was pretty cool. But you're down at Lake Gibson, one of the top programs in our state. You've got a Hall of Famer in Danny Walker. You've got one of the George brothers, which if people don't know, look up the George brothers. They were pretty damn good. And they're in the room there. One of your coaches that was an assistant just took a head coaching job somewhere else. So the tree is starting to blossom for Mr. Walker. I've been in the room with my son, and obviously I feel the passion these guys have for you guys. Talk about how important Danny Walker and George are to that program and to you.
So when I first started wrestling, like I was like not really into it. And I started like my freshman year in like maybe December, and I wasn't into it, but Walker made me like, because I was the only girl in there. So Walker made me feel like welcome. And then Brent was telling me, because one of my friends that I actually grew up with, she was a 4-time state champ from Lake Gibson. So like it was a lot going in there, and I wanted to take it serious. After I won knockout, I seen like how well I've been improving over like a year, and Walker was there with me throughout everything. And so was Brent. When we had Brent practices, he was pushing us too. Like those were hard practices. They may be an hour, but those were hard. And then Walker's practices, like they're like we have technique some days and we have hard drilling. And like some days you'll be in the room, yeah, I want to quit, but it's all worth it. Like it's all worth it. Walker and Brent, they pushed me so hard during like my districts week, my regionals, the states week, even state duels. And they pushed me a lot during the summer for Fargo, and I feel like they are one of the most important reasons why I did place at that tournament, going in there like unranked and people thinking, "Oh yeah, no, she's not gonna place," and placing fifth place. Like I give thanks to like my whole team and Walker and Brent.
And listen, how big was that bracket?
I think it was round of 64. I know that, and I think there was probably like 50 or 45 people in there, and I
Yeah,
placed fifth
so
out of them.
it's not like, obviously they're not as big as the boys brackets yet, but they
Yeah,
weren't small. They were pretty large.
yeah, that was the biggest bracket I had.
You know, what I noticed a lot, when I was around, for example, the knockout or the state tournament or wherever we were that you were competing in, immediately all those boys were in your corner immediately, no matter where you were wrestling, they made sure they had your back. They were there. That, what, how's that culture? I mean, that culture is really strong. You see the family in there. How, you know, what makes it like that? I mean, you see them, they got your back every time you were wrestling. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. So Walker is the main reason we are all a family. Walker, even if he doesn't know you, you come in that room, you're a part of our family. Like Walker is one of the best coaches that I've seen like so far, like out of all these coaches I've seen, including Brent. So to have like all my whole team in the corner and at knockout when I won, you can see everybody like losing their mind. Like it felt so good because we all like build a bond. And sometimes we even have like maybe team bonding days, like go to the beach. We're gonna have a cookout soon. Like we make sure that is actually one of the most important things. We didn't win states by not being a family. We won states because we did it together and we were a family.
And that's awesome. And you know, as we move forward here, there's one person that I know, because I've spoke to people how important this person has been, not only in the wrestling room for you, but in the classroom as well, is Brendan Abden. You see that relationship is really tight. Everywhere we've been, he's made sure he's right next to you, whether he's coaching you in the corner, rooting you on. I remember when you got All-American at Fargo, he hurried me over to take pictures of you two. Um, I know he's going off to college. I know you're going to miss him dearly, but how important has he been, not just in the wrestling room, but I know in the classroom as well?
Yeah. So Brendan, he committed to Little Rock. He committed off a academic and a wrestling scholarship, I believe. And so you can just see how important school is also. And Ab makes sure that everybody in the wrestling room, like that they have their academics down before they become a wrestler. So even Walker and Brent, they make sure all our grades are good. We have grade checks, and then we become a wrestler. And everywhere I've had Brendan in my corner. There was no like I would not start my match if I knew Brendan was at my tournament and he was not in my corner. And most of the time I'd send Elijah and I'd be like, Elijah, go get Brendan. And they both would be sitting in my corner and they'll be coaching me up. And like those are like the two most important people on the team that are like always there for me in my corner. So it felt like really great, but I'm sad he left, you know. He came down last week and gave us a camp.
That's all, and I'm sure every chance he gets, he'll be in the room doing that. So fast forward, you get to Fargo. You had never been before. You walk in there. There's 1,996 girls, or something to be exact, and you've got a 54 or 64 girl bracket, and you end up fifth place. Talk about the grind of Fargo and that run, and even there was times where you competed up on the stage. I mean, how cool was that? Was that for you?
So like I like proving people wrong. So going in there, you see like all these like articles about like these wrestlers and who's gonna American and who's gonna be on the top. And like my coach was sending me, Walker was sending me, oh, your name's not on here when the rankings came out. Oh, your name's not on here. Oh, okay. Now we're gonna go prove them wrong. So all throughout my head in that match, I just like in all my matches, I mean, I'm out here, I'm like proving them wrong. Like even when I got on the stage, like when I wrestled the Fargo winner, I wrestled her. It was a 10-4 match. I know I could have done better, but like it was like the all the adrenaline I had on that stage, like, and to have Coach Ab in the corner, like coaching me, like the Florida coaches, like it felt really good. Even though I lost, that was the one time like I didn't get so frustrated at myself. I was actually so proud of myself. And Walker even told me that he was proud how far like I came. Like I wasn't even expected to be in the quarters. I was expected to go 0-2 and go home. But like I cleared my head. I went to on to the next matches. I ended up wrestling 7 matches. I went 5-2. I lost my Conci semis match. I shook that one off and came back and got fifth.
Yeah, and I remember there's something that Abden says to you guys when you lose that first match, and when you guys are wrestling on the front side, and he always says to you guys, okay, you got that one out of the way now. We got to go win the rest, right?
Yeah.
And I heard him tell you guys that, and then you make that run seven matches back to get to your fifth place match, and when you win that, you kind of showed off your Florida singlet a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The Florida
I
thing.
was hoping I had the Gibson gear, but I didn't.
Yeah,
It was all the way over there.
that was all right. Florida is good. And then just to see the camaraderie of all the girls and everybody there in the corners and doing their thing, man. What was it like to, because a lot of those girls, you guys haven't really had a chance to really bond like that, right? I mean, I talked to a lot of girls that came out of there were like, man, I became really close with girls I never thought, that I wrestled, and then we went our separate ways or whatever. But I mean, it was a cool time to be a girl wrestler in Florida, huh?
Yeah. So I actually only knew I did not know any of the cadets. I've wrestled one of the cadets and I knew Mary, but I haven't like really talked to her. And I had the chance to talk to her and she's really sweet and nice. And I was waiting for the juniors to arrive because I knew Kaylani was there and Kaylani and me are close friends. So I was waiting for her. And then I ended up bonding with a lot of people there. Like just when we were in the hotel, like just talking to people, like getting to know everybody, like it felt like really nice because I'm the only girl on my team. And now we have a girls team and we have an amazing girl coach, Brianna Kellen, like and just to have like that feeling of like all those girls there and like having your back, like the feeling of a girls team like felt so amazing. Cause I mean, the boys on my team they're really good, but like when you have girls having your back, it just feels really good.
Yeah, and then we had talked off this. I mean, you lost to Val in the state finals, and then you actually got to spend time with her here, and she, you said she helped a lot, and you got to now you guys are friends. Amazing how this sport works, right?
Yeah. Everybody's like, I don't know how you can be friends with somebody. I'm like, she's not a mean person. She's like really nice. Like,
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I've only been around the sport as the short time I've been, but it seems like you see two people, male or female, go to war on a mat, and then you see them at the concession eating lunch together, talking about the tournament. It's insane, but
yeah.
that's what I love about the sport. Like you can go to battle and still be friends afterwards, right?
Mhm.
You see that a lot. There was 34 girls or something that total that went between cadet and junior. Our state has many more girls than that. You got to experience what I saw. These big states that were winning and placing in the tournaments as teams were bringing
Mhm.
50, 60, 70 girls with them. How important is it for us to get our state up to that level?
I think it's really important. Like, I mean, placing like maybe fifth or whatever we got, like that's really great. But like I know that we can expand it. Like, I want to expand Florida's like girls wrestling programs. Like, I want more girls to like actually get in the sport instead of some people thinking, "Oh, no, that's only for boys." Like, I want, like, women's wrestling to expand. I feel like that is so important, and I was hoping, you look at California and you're like, "Oh my gosh, like, that's a big team," and then I just want our team to, like, build, and then people will remember Florida. Like, when we go, they will remember Florida.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of girls that we had to place top five was incredible. I think it's tied with the highest we've ever placed as a girls team. I think I went back and looked at the statistics. I think we had one other year, I don't know, years and years ago.
Yeah.
Well, years and years ago. I mean, how long have girls been, however long girls have been going. Um, and it was like a fifth place thing. But as more girls show up, more teams bring more girls, and it changes things. So it was pretty awesome to watch that run by the girls this year. What is something you would tell the girls out there? So if you had to, for example, you were chosen to go around the state and encourage girls to be part of Team Florida, what would you tell them? What would be the reason?
Um, I feel like wrestling has helped me like build my confidence, and you'll be at the tournament maybe when you first start. I know for a fact my freshman year when I first started, I went 0-2 at every single tournament. And like you think that that would make me feel, like, so bad about myself, but every single time I went 0-2, I just thought, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get in the room, and I'm gonna fix that." Like, it just helped me build my confidence, and, like, I feel like that is really important in a person, especially in a woman. So, like, I would, like, tell them, there's a lot of people that are not so confident about themselves, and I feel like wrestling has given me so much. Like, it has helped me become successful. And there's so many life lessons in wrestling. You're not going to get better by just sitting around watching everybody. You got to work hard for everything you want. Like, it's like a big part of me now. And like, I want to share that with everybody. I want everybody to feel the way that I feel. Like,
And why would you encourage them to get on that Team Florida trip and make that trip to Fargo to compete?
so there were a lot of people there that were my friends, and they were like upset that they didn't place. And I was like, "You made it here. Like, there were so many other people that did not make it here, and you are here now. Like, this is an amazing opportunity for everybody." And for the girls that like are maybe considering about going to Fargo, it doesn't matter if you place or not. Like, as long as you have fun and you go out there and do what you need to do. You need to prove who you are and make a name for yourself. And like, I think that everybody should want that opportunity, and they just need to work hard to get it.
Yeah, and I mean, also the top girls colleges that were there. I mean, the Iowa coach was standing right there next to the mat, next to the stage all the time. The North Central coach, the old McKendree coach that's now over at the NAI school that he started up. And I'm sorry, I'm having a mind fart here. He was on the side. I mean, you saw all these high level women's coaches there, um, looking for girls, right? I mean, those are just a few I can think of that I saw. I'm sure there was many others there. If I forgot, you don't get mad at me. Um, but I mean, those opportunities are there, right? I'm sure colleges now, they saw you place, they saw you All-American. Your phone's gonna ring, right?
Yeah, that's it's really big for me. And for me, like when colleges talk to me, I make sure they know about my academics because, like I said, I am a student before I am a wrestler. So I go to school, like that is my most important thing. That is my main thing to focus on. If I miss school for wrestling, I always make sure I get the work, make up work, I do it, I turn it in. Like, I mean, I don't have a good GPA for no reason. Like, it takes hard work.
That's awesome. You know what? I know you mentioned all the things that wrestling has done for you, and that's awesome, building your confidence and helping you become a better person. What are some of your goals? I know you're going to be a junior this year or a senior?
A junior.
A junior. Your goal is to go off to college and wrestle, right?
Hmm.
And you have a twin brother. I'm sure it'd be cool for him to go with you. Or
Yeah.
are you hoping they separate you two, let him go off to another college?
So he already has this plan out. He wants to go to Georgia Tech, and I mean, he got the grades and I think the ACT scores for it too. So
Good
I'm
for
gonna
him.
miss him though.
Yeah, I'm sure. Being a twin, you guys are probably do a lot together.
Yeah, we do.
What do you have planned coming up? Where are some tournaments that we'll see you compete before we get into season?
Um, I'm going to be going to Super 32. I'll be at GFC, and I feel like there's one more,
Are,
but those are the
are you
two
going to
big tournaments.
are you going to preseason nationals in Iowa?
Oh, I think we are. We'll have to figure that one out. But those are like the three main tournaments that I want to go to.
So last year, what did you place at Grappler?
I took fourth
And what's your goal this year?
first.
It should be, right?
Yeah.
If you're not going into a tournament wanting to win it or thinking you can win it, why show up, right?
Yeah.
I like it. Well, man, it's so cool to get to talk to you and have you on the show and kind of talk about the give and talk about what wrestling has meant to you, and then obviously what your goals are. I look forward to seeing you kick some ass here in the future. Continue to do your thing.
Thank you.
I'm sure coming back from Fargo has got to put your confidence level at an all-time high. Did they rank you yet?
I'm waiting. Me and my coach, like, I keep checking Flow Wrestling, and they have not updated rankings. I'm like, hurry up! You did the boys, girls time.
Well, listen, fifth at Fargo. I mean, I got to imagine you're on the list.
Yeah, and like I beat some girls I wasn't expected, and they were ranked pretty high. So
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there that are in the public's eye and they get seen more. That's it.
hmm
Once you get, and that's one of the important reasons they kept telling my son, you got to get out and do some of these tournaments, even if you're losing at these tournaments, but you're getting your name out there. People are starting to
yeah,
see you and watch you, because they're even the college coaches, like they tell me all the time when I talk to them or I do interviews with them, they're like, man, there's a lot of parts of this country where we know there's good wrestlers at, but we just don't hear about them unless somebody tells us about them. You got to
yeah,
don't hesitate to contact us as a wrestler and tell us you're there and send us video and put yourself in front of us, because there's a lot of places we can't get to. You know,
yeah,
obviously they go to the big tournaments, the 32s and the Fargos and the NHSCAs. But there's a lot of really good kids out there that can't afford to go on those tournaments and go on those trips, and they need to get themselves on the computer and send that stuff
yeah.
out.
That's like really big. Like for my parents, especially because they have to pay double the money. Like we have to make like letters, like asking for sponsors. Like we do fundraisers. Like I know how stressful money can be, and I think that is like the biggest thing you should be doing. Like going out, like you can even go to like Publix, like give them a letter asking like to help support your funds, like all that. You can go anywhere.
That's awesome. And it's good that you do that because it gives you a sense of um like I did that, right? Like it gives you that
Yeah.
feeling like, okay, I went out and I hit the pavement and I earned my opportunity to go there, and then I even got the money to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Even some parents out there, even if they can't afford it, I know sometimes they'll tell the kid, okay, you go get half, you go fundraise and I'll match whatever you get, right? Get them in the, just to get them in that feeling of going out and making money and working a little bit. But
Yeah.
well, I'll let you kick your brother's butt after this. So get into your room. And it was awesome. Can't wait to see you wrestle. I should be up at the Grappler taking photos, so I'll make sure I get some of you, like always.
Thank you.
And you have a good night. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.